Misamis Oriental. Honorable Danilo Daroy Jr., Honorable Rafael Pedro Baculio, Honorable Kent Tristan Lignes, Honorable John Mark Noble, Honorable Jean Ellen Grace Clarin, Honorable Adrian Josh Gabule, Honorable Rich Fabre, Honorable Lou Jade Janao, Honorable Kyrene Zayas. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of Deputy Speaker Bambi Imano from Misamis Oriental, members of the National Movement of Young Legislators, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we proceed with the additional reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as communications and committee reports.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The Secretary General is directed to read the titles of the bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as communications and committee reports for referral to the appropriate committees.
Additional reference of business, bills on first reading. House Bill 7899, abolishing the estate tax, by Representative Suwan.
To the Committee on Ways and Means.
House Bill 7900, abolishing the travel tax, by Representative Suwan.
To the Committee on Tourism.
House Bill 7901, strengthening the policies on online sexual abuse or exploitation of children and child sexual abuse or exploitation materials, by Representatives Esmula Diokno, Sendanya, and Bagao.
To the Committee on Public Order and Safety.
House Bill 7902, establishing the National Coastal Greenbelt Program, by Representatives Esmula Diokno, Sendanya, Bagao, and Veloso Tuazon.
To the Committee on Climate Change.
House Bill 7903, to combat the malicious use of deep fake technology, by Representative Gonzales Eliza Micaela.
To the Committee on Information and Communications Technology.
House Bill 7904, abolishing the imposition of travel tax, by Representative Gonzales Eliza Micaela.
To the Committee on Tourism.
House Bill 7905, providing for the sustainable management of forests and forest lands, by Representative Rivera.
To the Committee on Natural Resources.
House Bill 7906, granting Philippine citizenship to David Loran Sison, by Representative Nazal.
To the Committee on Justice.
House Bill 7907, providing for the delineation of the specific forest limits of the public domain, by Representative Rivera.
To the Committee on Natural Resources.
Resolutions. House Resolution 801, expressing the sincere sympathy and deepest condolences of the House of Representatives on the passing of former Speaker Jose C. De Venecia Jr., by Representative Suwan.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 802, urging the Committee on Public Accounts to conduct an inquiry on the features, market valuation, and suitability of land for the Cagayan de Oro City Hall Complex, by Representative Suwan.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 803, recognizing, congratulating, and commending Dankfried Tristan Dumale Bonares for placing 9th in the October 2025 Forester's Licensure Examination, by Representative Cayton.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Resolution 804, recognizing, congratulating, and commending Jemima Ruby Domincel Costales for placing 9th in the October 2025 Mining Engineers Computer-Based Licensure Examination, by Representative Cayton.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Resolution 805, recognizing, congratulating, and commending Caroline Buyukan Baza for placing 8th in the September 2025 Psychometrician's Licensure Examination, by Representative Cayton.
To the Committee on Civil Service and Professional Regulation.
House Resolution 806, expressing the profound condolences of the House to the family of former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Honorable Jose C. De Venecia Jr., by Representatives Barba, Singsunmihan, Ortega, Dalog, Garcia Dante, Gato, Bernos Ching, Lara Nolasco, Singson Ronald, Celeste, Coangco Mark, Arenas, Guico, Vargas Alfonso, Albano, Go, Ed Christopher, D. Ian Paul, D. Faustino Michael Carlos, Tan Joseph, Kua, Kaiton, Bernos JB, Bulot Bigtang, Yap Eric, Dumogan, Chungalaw, Agyaw, Aquino Magsaysay, Singson Rochelle, Tereng, T. Estrella Po, Primicius Agabas, and De Jesus.
To the Committee on Rules.
Resolution of both Houses 4, proposing amendments to Section 4, Article 6 of the 1987 Constitution to reduce the term of office of senators from 6 years to 3 years, syncing with other elective officials, by Representative Gomez.
To the Committee on Constitutional Amendments.
Committee reports. Committee report numbers 122 and 123 submitted by the Committee on Natural Resources on House Bill number 7915 and 7920. Committee report numbers 124 and 125 submitted by the Committees on Health and Appropriations on House Bill numbers 7979 and 7980.
The aforementioned committee reports are all referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we recognize the guests of the Honorable Patricia Calderon from the 7th District of the Province of Cebu, and they are the following. Councilor Michelle E. Bitanga, Councilor Joseph D. Balbona, Councilor Nicole Sheen Q. Pledad, Councilor Kyrene Vesta A. Tabanao, Councilor Joshua Jeff B. Katapusan, Councilor Anne Marie M. Blanco, SK Federation President Mark Anthony M. Avenido, SK Federation President Agustina T. Odever. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Patricia Calderon of the 7th District of the Province of Cebu, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
May we also recognize the guests of the Honorable Jose Manuel F. Alba from the 1st District of Bukidnon. And they are the following. Honorable Venice Marie Villo, Honorable Veronica Vera Socorro Lumantas, Honorable Rev Dalahigon, Honorable Julius Cesar Tan, Honorable Reynaldo Senabre, Honorable Mercy Maling, Honorable Albert Daganloy, Honorable Tirso Amistoso, Honorable Jake Kuray, Honorable Liliosa Lilocan, Honorable Romeo Anoba, and Ms. Cheryl Handugan. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Jose Manuel Alba of the 1st District of Bukidnon and Honorable Arlene Ayon, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we also recognize the guests of the Honorable Jose Bong Teves Jr., our Deputy Majority Leader. And they are the following. Barangay officials of General Luna, Siniloan, Laguna. Chairman Arel Relosa, Kagawad Irene Isleta, Kagawad Tony Mendoza, Kagawad Wency Balbalosa, Kagawad Marilu Katuria, Kagawad Mark Kenji Mendoza, Kagawad Andres Acero, SK Chairperson Chris Von Patenya, Treasurer Harleen San Francisco, Secretary Jezel Javier. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader Bong J. Teves Jr., welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we also recognize the guests of the Honorable Gerald Cloyd Alexis V. Galang from the 2nd District of Valenzuela, and they are officers from the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Valenzuela Chapter, and they are the following. Yolanda de la Cruz, Maria Helen Lising, Gemma Ong, Ana Cherry San Diego, Jimel C., Delphin Gutierrez Jr., Elaine Chester C., Eleanor Olegario, Sonia C., Imelda Ramos, Ramier Chris Espinoza. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Gerald Cloyd Alexis V. Galang of the 2nd District of Valenzuela City, members and officers of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Valenzuela Chapter, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we'd like to recognize the guests of Honorable Eddie Bong G. Plaza from the 2nd District of Agusan del Sur. They are from the Provincial Research and Development Innovation Office, namely Ms. Adeflor G. Garcia, Ms. Purificacion O. Kahatian, Leandro D. Ocasio, Eric Lindbergh, Inovejas, Ian A. Navarrete, and Ann June Mandar.
To the
Likewise, Mr. Speaker, we also would like to recognize the other guests of Honorable Eddie Bong Plaza. They are from the Liga ng mga Barangay of San Francisco chapter. Romel D. Anguito, Balandrina Rufila, Christopher Sabrian, Lito Galyogo, Roberto Elorimo, Jonathan Albienda, Carson Cesar Lademora, Susan Argilias, Resurrection Ursos Danilo Arquion, Jonathan Clarang, Elmer Somoro, Alvin A. Salas, Rosalyn Tinya, Robert Lamatao, Rufino Apog, Eduardo Morales, Kim Esmedina, Jerry Donasco, Jason De Leomes, and Attorney Daniel Longakil.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Eddie Bong G. Plaza of the 2nd District of Agusan del Sur, representing the Provincial Research and Development Innovative Office and the Liga ng Barangay from San Francisco chapter, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
We would also like to recognize Honorable Maria Isabel Sagarbarria. These are the officials from the province of Negros Oriental, namely Jane Albina, Councilor of Municipality of Valencia, Leo Salvoro, Councilor of the Municipality of Valencia, Shane Anki, SK, Municipality of Valencia, Nirth Degamo, Board Member, 2nd District of Negros Oriental, Angel Amador, Board Member, 1st District of Negros Oriental, Jose Manuel Montebon, Councilor, Municipality of Pasay, Alvin Truita, Vice Mayor, Municipality of Dawin, Prince Carl Baga, Councilor, Municipality of Dawin, CJ Solomilio, Councilor, Municipality of Dawin, Nelson Bandoles, Councilor, Municipality of Dawin, Siana Truita, SK, Municipality of Dawin, Marl Felred Actub, Councilor, Municipality of Pasay, Christine Joy Abrio, Councilor for the Municipality of Pasay, Darren Philip Dipshagan, Councilor of Municipality of Pasay, Raymond June Babor, Councilor, Municipality of Pasay, Beda Brent Kanyamake, Councilor of the Municipality of Pasay, Nico Ramirez, Mayor, Municipality of Pamplona, Jeff Margasino, SK of Tanjay City, Rainiel Arcide, Vice Mayor, Tanjay City, Melissa Sagarbarria, NMYL President, Councilor, Dumaguete City, Miguel Asinero, SK, Dumaguete City, Jason Lagahit, Councilor of Dumaguete City, JM Alvarez, SK, Canlaon City, and Shaquille Teves, ABC President, Municipality of Valencia.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Maria Isabel Sagarbarria, representative of the 2nd District of Negros Oriental, the officials from the province of Negros Oriental, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 5019 as contained in the Committee Report number 104, submitted by the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, copies of which have been distributed to the members. For this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. The Secretary General is directed to read the title of the bill.
House Bill number 5019, an act allowing the appointment of faculty, researchers, and administrators with dual citizenship in public higher education institutions, amending for the purpose Section 5(3) of Republic Act number 9225, otherwise known as the Citizen Retention and Reacquisition Act of 2003.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, the Honorable Representative Jude A. Asidre from Tingog Party List to sponsor this measure.
The Honorable Jude Asidre is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, it is my honor to sponsor before this august body House Bill number 5019 under Committee Report 104, an act allowing the appointment of faculty, researchers, and administrators with dual citizenship in public higher education institutions, amending for the purpose Section 5 of Republic Act number 9225, otherwise known as the Citizenship Retention and Reacquisition Act of 2003. Mr. Speaker, there are moments in legislation when the task before Congress is not to construct a new policy architecture, not to reinvent a new program, and not even to spend public funds. But the task is much simpler, but also much more meaningful. Sometimes our responsibility is simply to notice that a rule we inherited now stands in the way of a good that everyone already agrees is necessary. Today, House Bill 5019 presents that kind of moment. We are not solving a dramatic crisis, but we are correcting a quiet barrier, one that our public higher education institutions have lived with for years, and one that has slowly but steadily limited their growth. Under existing law, a Filipino who retains or reacquires Philippine citizenship but also possesses another citizenship must renounce that foreign citizenship before he or she can serve in public office, including as a faculty member, researcher, or administrator in a public higher education institution. This rule may have once reflected prudence. It may have been written in a time when international mobility was rare, when academic collaboration across borders were uncommon, and when the movement of professionals across countries was limited. But the Philippines of today is not the Philippines of that time. Now our people live, study, research, invent, publish, and teach across the world. And yet when some of them decide to come home and share what they have learned, our law asks them to surrender something first. We celebrate the global Filipino. We speak with pride about our nurses, our engineers, our teachers, our doctors, our scientists, our innovators working abroad. We cite them as proof of the Filipino capacity to excel. We tell our young people that the Filipino mind can compete anywhere. But when one of those same Filipinos expresses the desire to return, not necessarily to settle permanently, but simply to teach a course, mentor graduate students, help design programs, and lead research, we tell them that they must first renounce their foreign citizenship. In effect, we make them choose between continuing their international mobility and sharing their expertise with their own country. House Bill 5019 removes that unnecessary choice. The measure amends the Citizenship, Retention, and Reacquisition Act of 2003 to allow dual citizens to be appointed as faculty members, researchers, and administrators in state colleges and universities, local universities and colleges, and other public higher education institutions without being required to renounce their foreign citizenship. The bill does not open sensitive political position. It does not alter the constitutional requirements for elective office. It does not dilute allegiance to the Republic. It simply allows our public universities to hire qualified individuals who are Filipinos, who have maintained or regained Philippine citizenship, and who are willing to contribute to Philippine education. Mr. Speaker, higher education today operates in a global environment whether we acknowledge it or not. A student in a classroom in Tacloban reads journals written in Europe, studies data gathered in North America, and learns software developed in Asia. Research is collaborative. Innovation is networked. Knowledge grows through exchange. The modern university is no longer a closed institution bounded by geography. It is part of an international community of learning. Our students already live in that reality. Our laws, however, have not fully caught up with it. When we prevent a qualified Filipino researcher abroad from teaching in a Philippine public university without renouncing their citizenship, we are not protecting our institutions, we are isolating them. We are limiting exposure. We are narrowing the range of mentorship available to our students and young faculty. Our SUCs have worked hard to improve, and many of them have achieved remarkable progress despite limited resources. But they cannot reach global competitiveness if we restrict the very people who can help accelerate their development. This bill gives our higher education institutions flexibility. It allows them elbow room to recruit expertise, experience, and perspective that cannot be replicated by textbooks alone. A passport is a legal status. Teaching, however, is a human relationship. A classroom is not a government office in the usual sense. It is a place where the future is quietly shaped, where students begin to imagine what they can become. The person who stands in front of that classroom matters enormously. Sometimes the difference between an ordinary academic experience and a life-changing one is simply the presence of the teacher who has seen the world and returned to help others to see it too. This measure recognizes a truth that many of us already understand. Filipinos who succeed abroad often carry a deep desire to give back. Many of them do not seek permanent relocation. They want to teach a semester, advise a thesis, develop a curriculum, supervise a laboratory, or mentor faculty. They want to contribute without cutting themselves off from the international work that allows them to be effective. Requiring them to renounce foreign citizenship discourages precisely the kind of engagement that our universities need. We should not interpret dual citizenship as divided loyalty. For many Filipinos, it is simply a practical legal condition that allows them to move, collaborate, and remain active in the international fields while retaining their identity and commitment to the Philippines. When they choose to teach here, they are not leaving the country again. They are bringing back the world with them. It is also noteworthy, Mr. Speaker, that this measure has already passed the House on third and final reading during the previous Congress. The policy direction has been studied, discussed, and broadly supported. The present bill continues that recognition that enabling our universities to access global Filipino talent strengthens Philippine education. Education reform does not always take the form of massive infrastructure projects, sweeping reorganizations, or large appropriations. Sometimes reforms is quieter. Sometimes it is simply removing an outdated restriction so that institutions can function better. Allowing qualified dual citizens to teach in public higher education institutions is one such reform. Its cost to government is minimal, but its long-term impact in quality research, faculty development, and student learning can be substantial. If a Filipino has left the country to learn and now wishes to return to teach, our laws should welcome that decision. We once asked them to carry the Philippines into the world. Now we should allow the world to enter into our classrooms. In doing so, we strengthen not only our universities, but also the opportunities available to every Filipino student who walks into them. For this reason, Mr. Speaker, esteemed colleagues, I respectfully seek the approval of House Bill 5019. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Honorable Isidre. Majority Leader. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from Iloilo, the Honorable Lawrence Defensor, for his interpellation.
The Honorable Nonoy Defensor is recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the sponsor yield?
It will be an honor, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Sponsor. Just for clarity, can you give us the rationale why we want to allow dual citizenship for administrators of state universities, colleges, and local universities?
It has occurred in some circumstances, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, that we're looking at the possibility that once engagement, especially that of a dual citizenship, has matured to a level of an academic leadership, that option should be made available to them.
Mr. Speaker, I have to disagree that we do not have enough qualified, natural-born, and strictly Filipino citizens to be administrators of our state universities and colleges. Will the sponsor open his mind to excluding administrators in the proposed bill during the period of individual amendments, Mr. Speaker? Yun lang hingi ko, Jude. Yun lang.
Mr. Speaker, this representation, the sponsor recognizes that there are many of our colleagues in the academe who are actually qualified, natural-born Filipinos, qualified to serve as administrator. But precisely the intention of the bill is not to limit the opportunities provided. It does not presuppose that natural-born Filipinos will be excluded from taking administrative position, only that in order to ensure that career progression is made available also to Filipinos of dual citizenship to grow within the academic organization, such possibility is being considered as they move up the academic ladder.
Mr. Speaker, I recognize that one of the intentions of this bill is to improve competitiveness, especially in the quality of education. And will the sponsor agree with me that in improving the quality of our tertiary education, the significant members of the academe are the faculty, the researchers. However, for administrators, it has less to do with the actual teaching. And if we can already allow more competitive faculty members who are dual citizenship, I don't think that we should remove the role of the administration of our state universities and college from locally natural-born Filipinos who are qualified. May I ask once more if the sponsor is open to removing the administrators in the bill and have it reinstated if they can agree so with the Senate version during the bicameral conference committee, if the Senate so agrees.
Mr. Speaker, as I mentioned, the intention of the measure is not to provide, to hinder the growth of our natural-born Filipino faculty who may be qualified for administrative positions. But nonetheless, we would want to provide that opportunity for Filipinos of dual citizenship, especially when their expertise and their experience would contribute valuably to the growth of the institution. Noting for Mr. Speaker also that in many state colleges and universities, such leadership of such quality for administrators are not always available. And that's why we would want to take advantage of the opportunity, especially in certain positions, certain SUCs, certain degree programs, where a Filipino of dual citizenship may be able to contribute significantly to the growth of that institute.
Mr. Speaker, will the sponsor cite any study or any factual or legal basis that allowing dual citizenship administrators will improve the quality of our tertiary education? If he can cite any authoritative study, I will allow this to pass during the period of sponsorship and debate.
Mr. Speaker, for a number of reasons, including their probable longevity of service to the institution, the current structure we have actually already favors the advancement of Filipino natural-born administrators. However, we believe that in making this position available to Filipino of dual citizenship, our own experience, in fact, would tell that Filipinos who are exposed to either training or education abroad would be in a capacity to contribute what they've learned outside or the experience that they have attained in terms of developing, of improving the academic leadership in these public tertiary education institutions.
Mr. Speaker, I am not convinced that administrators should be included in the bill. However, the Honorable Asidre is my very good friend, and I know that he has noble intentions to improve the quality of tertiary education as chairman of the Higher and Technical Education Committee. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I will no longer delay the sponsorship and debate of this bill, but I want my objection to the inclusion of administrators be reflected in the journal of today's session and therefore be included again in the discussion, if possible, during the bicameral conference committee. I have no further questions, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank the sponsor for taking my questions on this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senior Deputy Majority Leader Defensor. Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, may I interpret?
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize the Honorable Pino to recognize from ACT Teachers Party this for his
The
interpellation.
Honorable Tino is recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Taking inspiration from the point raised by our distinguished senior Deputy Majority Leader, this is also with regard to the matter of the proposal to allow not just faculty who are dual citizens to teach, but also administrators in higher education institutions. No? Mr. Speaker, I am sure the sponsor is aware of the constitutional mandate that says that the control and administration of educational institutions shall be vested in citizens of the Philippines. And I'm sure that the sponsor will say, well, dual citizens are citizens of the Philippines, while they are also citizens of another state, no? So, I suppose, ang sasabihin ng ating sponsor, tama ba ako, ay wala pong conflict ito sa constitutional mandate, no? That the control and administration of educational institutions shall be by Filipino citizens. Ganun po ba ang pagtingin ng sponsor?
That is correct, Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues.
Yes. So, I mean, while of course, strictly speaking, totoo ito, pero siguro kailangan din nating unawain kung bakit nandyan sa konstitusyon yan. Di ba? Ang context nito is of course, yung mahabang kasaysayan ng pagiging kolonyal na institusyon ng ating mga educational institutions. That is the reason why that is the history behind this particular provision in the Constitution. No? Kinilala yung pagkatatag ng panahon pa ng Kastila, di ba, ng ating mga educational institutions at yung impluwensya nito, gayon din, of course, pagdating ng mga Amerikano, yung kanilang pagtatag ng higher education institutions such as the University of the Philippines, after which many of the state universities are patterned, as well as, of course, the basic education system that we know today. No? So parang kaya merong mandato ang konstitusyon ay dahil para nga matiyak na ang ating educational system ay hawak at kontrolado ng mga Pilipino. No? Siyempre, bagaman pwede nating sabihin na dual citizen sila, pero ibig sabihin, citizen ng Pilipinas, at the same time, sumumpa rin ng allegiance sa iba pang estado. No? So, tingin ko kahit papano may kaibahan yon. At hindi ba nalalabag ang diwa ng konstitusyon kung itutulak natin na pahintulutan ang mga dual citizens na maging administrador ng ating mga educational institutions, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, let me clarify one point. Dual citizens are Filipino citizens. In fact, our own laws already recognize the right to exercise their right of suffrage, and that is manifested by the Absentee Voting Act that we currently implement. In fact, nothing in the proposed bill contemplates that control of any public higher education institution will be transferred to a foreign entity or foreign control. What we're simply saying is that we would want to allow Filipinos who were trained abroad, who may have in the course for some practical reasons, taken a foreign citizenship but maintained or reacquired their Philippine citizenship, for them to be given the opportunity to serve and contribute to the growth of our public higher education system. Our laws governing higher education in the country will remain in effect. Nothing will be taken as to accommodate any foreign influence, and that the character of the dual citizens as Filipino citizens will continue to be upheld.
Well, let me just note, Mr. Speaker, that the Constitution mandates not just control but also administration. No? So ibig sabihin, hindi lang ito usapin ng, for example, ownership ng mga educational institutions, but it's very specific. Control and administration of educational institutions shall be vested in citizens of the Philippines. So the Constitution is very particular about not just ownership but as well as administration. Ibig sabihin kahit yung day-to-day management ng mga ng mga educational institutions natin. We're not just talking about higher education institutions, ay dapat daw sa mga Pilipino. Now, actually, I would consider the proposed bill here to be, if I may put it this way, it's taking advantage of a loophole. No? Dahil ang nangyayari dito, yes, they are citizens of the Philippines, but they are also citizens of another state, another country. So, in effect, parang nag-comply, yes, but also nalabag din ang mandato ng konstitusyon. Dahil, in effect, while you have a Filipino as administrator, for example, you could also say that the administrator is also a foreign citizen at the same time. No? So, kaya po, I join the distinguished Senior Deputy Majority Leader in his position na baka mas mainam, tanggalin natin yung mga administrators sa proposed bill, given the spirit, if not the letter, of the constitutional mandate that control and administration of educational institutions shall be vested in citizens of the Philippines.
I understand the concerns of the Honorable Pino, Mr. Speaker. The rule, as it is appreciated in the wordings of the Constitution, reflects a certain degree of prudence. But that was for a time when mobility and integration, the internationalization of higher education has been a norm rather than exemption. In fact, if I would have to put it, Mr. Speaker, instead of a loophole, this bill takes advantage of an opportunity. Let me put it plainly. We are talking about Filipino citizens. We're not talking about foreigners. We're talking about Filipinos who continue to maintain or have reacquired their citizenship. And we know for many of those Filipinos who are working or have resided abroad, whether partly or for the greater part of their life, we know it comes with certain practical arrangements or for practical reasons. Now, if we have to balance interest as compared to what they can contribute to the growth of our public higher education institutions, I think that we should interpret it, the spirit of the law, into what would rather help improve the quality not only of teaching but even leadership, academic leadership in our public higher institutions, Mr. Speaker.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I think naipaliwanag at nairehistro ko na ang objection dito sa pagsama sa mga administrators sa panukalang batas. Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker at ginoong sponsor sa pagsagot sa ating mga concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Tino. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, motion to suspend.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Session is suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, before we proceed, could we please recognize my guests from the 1st District of Ilocos Norte, namely Mayor Francis Espiritu of the Municipality of Dumalneg, Mayor Rafi Benemerito from the Municipality of Pagudpud, and Mayor Richard Degala from the Municipality of Vintar. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of our Majority Leader, Ferdinand Alexander A. Marcos, Mayor Francis Espiritu of Municipality of Dumalneg, Ilocos Norte, Mayor Rafi Benemerito of Municipality of Pagudpud, Ilocos Norte, and Mayor Richard Degala of the Municipality of Vintar, Ilocos Norte. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Move to suspend, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Session is suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The period of sponsorship and debates is closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The period of amendment is open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Congresswoman Det Escudero of the 1st District of Sorsogon for her individual amendment.
The Honorable Escudero.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the motion.
Majority Leader.
I have withdrawn. Mr. Speaker, there being no individual nor committee amendments, I move that we terminate the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The period of amendment is closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 5019.
All those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 5019 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, before we proceed, may we recognize the guests of the Honorable Jose Manuel Tadeo Chel I. Jokno of the Akbayan Party List. They are from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, Bachelor of Science in Social Work. They are third-year students, and they are the following: Avisila Clarence, Fiona C. Bartolome, Alaya G. Hamid, Marie Valerie T. Ferrer, Rachel Ann A. Clemente, Maria Natasha R. Simene, Sean Eugene D. Braulio, Zandy Nicole H. Reyes, Micaela Jan B. Gecko, Iorian Sangalang, Aalia Rene H. Lalu, Zakia Althea C. Vana, Maria Philly S. Garcia. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Jose Manuel Tadeo Chel I. Diokno from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Maynila, Bachelor of Science in Social Work. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, may we also recognize the guests of the Honorable Maria Carmen S. Zamora from the 1st District of Davao de Oro, and they are also guests of the Honorable Leonel Jong Ceniza of the 2nd District of Davao de Oro. And they are the following. They are members of the National Movement of Young Legislators from Davao de Oro: Hugh Maxwell Z. Apsay, John Anzel J. Tutor, Mylene P. Bacote, Eufelu B. Anino, Christine Claire C. Seniego, Noriel John P. Ramacula, John Rian T. Mahumot, Ferlan O. Gambito, Drosel F. Refamonte, Glenn F. Arangcon, Remark A. Kasidsid, Mariel Bianca S. Libuangan, Erico S. Dayanghirang. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Maria Carmen S. Zamora, 1st District Representative of Davao de Oro, and the Honorable Leonel Jong Ceniza of the 2nd District of Davao de Oro, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
May we also recognize the guests of the Honorable Timothy Joseph Tim E. Caiton from the Lone District of Nueva Vizcaya. They're from the Liga ng Barangay of the Municipality of Diadi, Nueva Vizcaya. They are the following: Claro Tuginay, Ivy Carbonel, Fredelino de la Cruz, Ronald Galido, Dominic Bandao, Vener Valera, Dominic Ladores, Aniseta Manzano, Josephine Baybayan, Judy Cadelina. Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the representative of the Lone District of Nueva Vizcaya, Attorney Timothy Joseph Tim E. Caiton, from the Liga ng Barangay of Municipality of Diadi, Nueva Vizcaya, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 7628 as contained in the committee report number 105 submitted by the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, copies of which have been distributed to the members. For this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 7628. Please proceed.
House Bill 7628, an act mandating the inclusion of a personal financial literacy course in the tertiary education curriculum of higher education institutions, technical vocational institutions, and technical education and skills development authority training centers.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, the Honorable Jude Asidre from the Tinog Party List, to sponsor the measure.
The Honorable Jude Asidre is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, it is my honor to sponsor today House Bill number 7628 under Committee Report 105, an act mandating the inclusion of a personal financial literacy course in the tertiary education curriculum of higher education institutions, technical vocational institutions, and technical education and skills development authority training centers. This measure mandates the inclusion of a personal financial literacy course in the curriculum of higher education institution, recognizing financial literacy as an essential life skill and seeks to build a strong foundation of financial knowledge among students so that they can make sound and informed decisions as they enter employment. This is a modest proposal in appearance, but in consequence, it is far-reaching. Because while education teaches people how to earn, financial literacy teaches them how to keep, protect, and responsibly use what they earn. We often assume that financial mistakes come from irresponsibility. In many cases, they come from unfamiliarity. A graduate student may understand complex formulas but not understand debt. A skilled worker may operate advanced equipment but not recognize predatory lending. A newly employed young person may earn regularly but still live paycheck to paycheck simply because no one ever explained budgeting, savings, or credit. Many Filipinos encounter financial education only after a crisis, after mounting debt, after falling victim to scams, after financial stress affecting family stability. By then, the lesson have already become costly. The personal financial literacy course required under this bill will cover practical matters, the time value of money, saving an emergency fund, and debt management, insurance, retirement planning, credit scoring, and the safe use of digital financial platforms. These are not merely theoretical topics. These are everyday realities. A single misunderstanding about interest rates can trap a worker in debt for years. The absence of an emergency fund can push a family into hardship after a single illness. A lack of knowledge about digital finance can expose citizens to fraud. When repeated across millions of households, these individual struggles become national economic vulnerabilities. For this reason, the bill requires collaboration among the Commission on Higher Education, TESDA, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the Department of Finance, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Insurance Commission in designing standards and materials. Financial literacy must reflect real economic conditions and real financial risks. Today's workers are entering a digital financial world, online lending, mobile payments, digital investments, where decisions are fast and mistakes are costly. We cannot simply tell our young people to be careful. We must equip them to be capable. Many of our graduates are also first-generation earners. Their first salary does not only belong to them. It supports siblings' education, parents' medicine, and household expenses. They step not into independence but into responsibility. Yet we send them into that responsibility without guidance on sustaining it. This bill may not give them money, but it gives them judgment. It may not promise wealth, but it helps them avoid preventable hardship. Often, the difference between financial stability and financial distress is not opportunity, but understanding. Financial literacy is therefore more than an academic concern. It is social protection. A worker who understands saving survives unemployment. A family that understands insurance survives illness. A citizen who understands credit avoids long-term debt. By preventing financial crises before they occur, this measure reduces the pressures that later on fall on government assistance systems. It strengthens households at the earliest possible point before difficulty becomes disaster. Years from now, this law may not be remembered as a dramatic legislation. It will not trend. It will not create immediate headlines, but its effect will quietly accumulate in stronger families, fewer victims of scams, more responsible borrowing, and more resilient communities. A strong economy does not begin in markets or financial centers. It begins in homes where families decide whether they can afford tuition, medicines, or savings for the future. Stability at the national level begins with stability at the household level. We have long taught our students to find a job. Through House Bill 7628, we also teach them how to sustain a life with dignity after they find one. We strengthen not only the worker, but the family that depends on that worker and the society built upon that family. With this, Mr. Speaker, I respectfully urge the approval of House Bill 7628 under Committee Report number 105. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Chairman Isidre. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of amendment is now open.
Mr. Speaker, there being no individual nor committee amendments, I move that we terminate the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 7628.
those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 7628 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 7808 as contained in the committee report number 119 submitted by the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, copies of which have been distributed to the members. For this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
the Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 708. Please proceed.
House Bill 7808, an act integrating a comprehensive study of Philippine history during World War II into the higher education curriculum.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Higher Education, the Honorable Jude Isidre of the Tinog Party List, to sponsor the measure.
the Honorable Jude Isidre is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, it's my honor to sponsor this afternoon House Bill 7808 under Committee Report 119, an act integrating a comprehensive study of Philippine history during World War II into the higher education curriculum. Under our Committee Report number 119, the Committee on Higher and Technical Education recommends the approval of this measure integrating a comprehensive study of Philippine history during World War II into the higher education curriculum. The intention of the bill is simple but urgent, not merely to teach facts, but to restore understanding. Today, many students know that the Philippines was occupied by Japan. Some recognize Bataan, Corregidor, or Leyte Gulf as names of battles. But for many, this remained detached information, something to review the night before an exam and forget the day after. They do not feel the hunger the civilians endured. They do not imagine the fear of families hiding in darkness during the raids. They do not understand the quiet courage of ordinary Filipinos who sheltered strangers, carried secret messages, or joined resistance movements, knowing that they might never return home. History, Mr. Speaker, when reduced to bullet points, becomes harmless. But history, when told as human experience, becomes formative. The measure declares it as a policy of the state to inculcate patriotism and nationalism among the youth, foster respect for human rights, and preserve the stories of the struggle and heroism of Filipinos during the war. We're not trying to glorify war. We're trying to understand sacrifice. We are not trying to create hostility. We're trying to cultivate memory. A democracy cannot survive on institutions alone. It survives on shared understanding. Our citizens must not only know the rights, but the cost at which these rights were defended. Our freedom is taken for granted when it is all a generation has ever known. Our young people today speak freely, organize freely, vote freely, and criticize freely, and that is good. That is exactly what democracy should allow. But we must gently teach them that these freedoms were not automatic. They were defended by people who did not enjoy them while they fought for them. Many of those who resisted the occupation were barely older than the students we teach today. They were not professional soldiers. They were teachers who became couriers, farmers who became fighters, students who became scouts, mothers who hid their families in their homes despite mortal danger. They did not act because they believed themselves extraordinary. They acted because circumstances demanded courage. If our students learn this well, citizenship will stop being abstract, voting will not feel routine, public service will not appear transactional, patriotism will not sound theatrical, it will feel personal. The Commission on Higher Education, in coordination with the Philippine Veterans Office of the Department of National Defense, is tasked to design and implement the program. The collaboration is important because the story of war is not purely academic. It is historical, civic, and moral at the same time. It involves archives, testimonies, scholarship, and remembrance. Higher education institutions are also encouraged to maintain adequate learning resources on the Philippine experience during the war. Libraries, classrooms, and research centers will become keepers of memory, not merely repositories of information. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, a people who forgets the cost of its freedom slowly loses its appreciation of freedom. A generation who never learns the stories of sacrifice may one day treat democracy as disposable, but a generation that understands what previous Filipinos endured to preserve this country will approach citizenship with humility. House Bill 7808 ensures that the story of courage, endurance, and hope during World War II remains part of the formation of every Filipino college student. It does not burden the curriculum, it enriches it. It does not look backward in nostalgia, it looks forward in responsibility. We owe this to the men and women who have lived through all those years. We owe it to our students who will inherit this republic, and we owe it to the future of our democracy. For this reason, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the Committee on Higher and Technical Education respectfully seeks the approval of House Bill 7808. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Chairman Isidre. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of amendment is open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no individual nor committee amendments, I move that we terminate the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 7808.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye. Aye. Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 7808 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 7629 as contained in Committee Report number 106 submitted by the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, copies of which have been distributed to the members. For this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the bill.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 7629. Please proceed.
House Bill 7629, an act aligning the charter of the Palumpon Polytechnic State University with Republic Act No. 8292, otherwise known as the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997, amending for the purpose Sections 6 and 9 of Republic Act No. 10599, entitled an act converting the Palumpon Institute of Technology in the municipality of Palumpon, province of Leyte, into a state university to be known as the Palumpon Polytechnic State University, integrating therewith the Marcelino Orvilloso National Polytechnic College in the municipality of Tabango, province of Leyte, and appropriating funds therefore as amended by Republic Act number 11309.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Period of amendment, a period of sponsorship and debate is open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Higher and Technical Education, the Honorable Representative Jude A. Asidre of the Party List Tingog,
The
to sponsor the measure.
The Honorable Jude Asidre is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, it's my honor once again to sponsor House Bill 7629 under Committee Report 106, a measure aligning the charter of the Palumpon Polytechnic State University with the Higher Education Modernization Act of 1997 and strengthening the governance and leadership structure of the institution. Palumpon Polytechnic State University, currently known as the Palumpon Institute of Technology, stands at the heart of a coastal community in our home province of Leyte. For many families there, education is not just a pathway to advancement. It is often the only available bridge out of poverty. A state university in a locality like Palumpon is more than a campus. It is an economic center, a training ground for teachers and technicians, a source of research for fisheries and maritime livelihood, and a place where first-generation college students learn to imagine a life larger than what they were born into. However, when the governance of such an institution is uncertain, the community feels it immediately. House Bill 7629 addresses this by aligning the university's charter with the Republic Act number 8292, the Higher Education Modernization Act. This alignment is important because many SUCs were created at different times and under different legislative standards. As a result, some institutions operate under governance frameworks that no longer match national higher education policy. The bill harmonizes the structure so that Palumpon Polytechnic State University operates under the same principle of accountability, representation, and professional management expected of modern state universities. Equally important, the bill clarifies the process of selecting the university president. The measure provides a defined research process, standard-based selection, and a fixed term of office. Leadership stability matters in higher education. Academic programs take years to mature. Research agenda require continuity. Faculty development cannot depend on changing administrations every short while. By institutionalizing a clear and professional selection system, we protect the university from uncertainty and we protect students from disruption. The bill also aligns compensation, administrative structure, and key university offices with national government policies and CHED guidelines. Ultimately, House Bill number 7629 is about students we may never meet. Students who walk into classroom carrying not just notebooks, but the hopes of entire families. Their future depends not only on teachers and classrooms, but also on whether the institution behind them is governed well. Quietly, behind every successful graduate, there is a system that works. This measure helps that system work. For this reason, Mr. Speaker, I respectfully urge the approval of House Bill 7629.
Thank you, Chairman Asidre. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no Mr. Speaker, I move. Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The period of sponsorship and debate is now closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The period of amendment is now open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Det Escudero from the 1st District of Sorsogon for her individual amendment.
The Honorable Det Escudero is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to make the following amendments to House Bill number 7629 under Committee Report number 106. On page 2, lines 44 to 45, section 2, subsection H, between the bracket and the comma before the word members, include in the bracket the phrase of the university. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
What does the sponsor say?
The sponsor accepts the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. What does the House say? Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move to approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, on page 3, line 1 of section 2, subsection 1, insert in the brackets the words two prominent citizens, and between the word appoint and the preposition from, insert the words said members in capital letters. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
What does the sponsor say?
Mr. Speaker, the sponsor accepts the said amendments.
Thank you. What does the House say?
Mr. Speaker, I move to approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on the same page, line 38 of section 2, delete the brackets and the acronym PPSU and uppercase and lowercase the word university after the bracket. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
What does the sponsor say?
Mr. Speaker, the sponsor accepts the proposed amendments.
What does the House say? Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move to approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Mr. Speaker, on the same page, line 42 of section 2, between the words within and months, delete the word and the numeral 6 and replace them with the word and numeral 2. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
What does the sponsor say?
Mr. Speaker, the sponsor accepts the proposed amendments.
Thank you. What does the majority say?
Mr. Speaker, I move to approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved.
Lastly, Mr. Speaker, on page 4, line 4 of section 2, delete the parenthesis and the acronym OIC. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
What does the sponsor say?
Mr. Speaker, the sponsor is pleased to accept the proposed amendment.
Thank you. What does the House say?
Mr. Speaker, I move to approve the proposed amendment.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Thank you, Honorable Escudero. Majority Leader?
Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, there being no other member who wishes to propose individual amendments, I move to close the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of amendment is closed. Majority Leader?
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 7629.
Those who are in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 7629 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill 7646. Oh, wait, sorry. Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session for a few minutes.
Is there any objection?
my-
The chair is
withdraw my-
none. Session is suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, under the calendar of business for the day, I move that we consider House Bill number 7646 as contained in Committee Report number 109, submitted by the Committee on Legislative Franchises. For this purpose, may I request the Secretary General to read the title of the bill.
The Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 7646. Please proceed.
House Bill number 7646, an act renewing for another 25 years the franchise granted to Benguet Broadcasting Corporation, currently known as the Sphere Entertainment Inc., under Republic Act Number 9119 as amended, entitled An Act Granting the Benguet Broadcasting Corporation a franchise to construct, install, establish, operate, and maintain radio and television broadcasting stations in the Philippines.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, the Honorable Representative Jeffrey P. Ferrer from the 4th District of Negros Occidental to sponsor the measure.
the Honorable Jeffrey Ferrer is recognized. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor. Colleagues, good afternoon. House Bill number 7646, as contained in Committee Report number 1096, to renew the franchise of Benguet Broadcasting Corporation, currently known as Sphere Entertainment Incorporation, to construct, install, operate, and maintain radio and TV broadcasting stations in the Philippines for another 25 years. During 19th Congress, the proposed franchise renewal of Sphere Entertainment Incorporation was approved on third reading, but was not enacted into law due to lack of material time. In the 20th Congress, the Committee on Legislative Franchises conducted thorough deliberation on the proposed renewal and subsequently approved the measures on January 27, 2026. In view of foregoing, I respectfully seek the approval of these measures. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman Ferrer. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Period of sponsorship and debate is now closed. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Period of amendment is now open. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee nor individual amendments, I move that we close the period of amendments.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of amendment is now closed. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill number 7646.
those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 7646 is hereby approved on second reading. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Bill 7640 as contained in Committee Report 108, submitted by the Committee on Legislative Franchises. For this purpose, may I request that the Secretary General be directed to read the title of the
the
bill.
Secretary General is directed to read the title of House Bill 7640. Please proceed.
House Bill number 7640, an act granting a legislative franchise to Southern Leyte Electric Cooperative, Inc. to construct, install, establish, operate, own, manage, and maintain a distribution system for the conveyance of electric power to the end users in the city of Maasin and the municipalities of Anahawan, Pontoc, Hinunangan, Hinundayan, Libagon, Liloan, Macrohon, Malitbog, Padre Burgos, Pintuyan, St. Bernard, San Francisco, San Juan, San Ricardo, Silago, Sogod, Tomas Opos, and Limasawa, Province of Southern Leyte.
Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of sponsorship and debate.
is there any objection? The chair hears none. The period of sponsorship and debate is now open. Majority Leader,
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the chairperson of the Committee on Legislative Franchises, the Honorable Jeffrey P. Ferrer, from the 4th District of Negros Occidental to sponsor the measure.
the Honorable Jeffrey Ferrer is recognized. Please proceed.
Again, Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Colleagues, House Bill number 7640 as contained in Committee Report number 10864 to grant franchise to Southern Leyte Electric Cooperative Incorporation, SULECO, to construct, operate, and maintain distribution system for the conveyance of electric power to the end users in the city of Maasin and municipalities of Anahawan, Bontoc, Hinunganan, Hinundayan, Libagon, Liluan, Macrohon, Malitbog, Padre Burgos, Pintuyan, St. Bernard, San Francisco, San Juan, San Ricardo, Silago, Sugod, Tomas Opos, and the island municipality of Limasawa, province of Southern Leyte, for 25 years. The Committee on Legislative Franchises conducted deliberation on proposed grant of Solecos franchise on December 9, 2025. In January 26, 2026, the measure was approved on January 26, 2026. All members present during the committee meeting expressed their full support for the approval of the measures and manifested their intention to be made co-authors thereof. In view of this foregoing, I respectfully and earnestly seek the approval of this measure. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Ferrer, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no member who wishes to interpolate, I move that we terminate the period of sponsorship and debate.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of sponsorship and debate is now closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we open the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of amendment is now open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, there being no committee nor individual amendments, I move that we terminate the period of amendments.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Period of amendment is now closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading. Again, Mr. Speaker, I move that we vote on second reading House Bill 7640.
Those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it. House Bill 7640 is hereby approved on second reading.
Thank you very
Majority
much, Mr.
Leader.
Speaker. Thank you, colleague.
Thank you, Chairman Ferrer.
Mr.
Majority
Speaker,
Leader.
I move that we suspend session for a few minutes.
Session is suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, with leave of the House, I move that we open the privilege hour.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The privilege hour is now open. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize Representative Rodolfo Ompong Ordanes of the Senior Citizens Party list to give his to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Rodolfo Ompong Ordanes of the party list Senior Citizens is now recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I rise today in a matter of personal and collective privilege to bring to the attention of this august chamber the continuing struggles of our senior citizens within our healthcare system. Struggles that persist despite existing laws and repeated assurances from concerned agencies. Tumitindig po ako ngayon, hindi lamang bilang isang mambabatas, kundi bilang boses ng mga kapwa ko, lolo at lola. Mga Pilipinong sa halip na alagaan ay napipilitang makipagtalo, makiusap at maghintay sa panahong kami ang pinakamarupok. Kami ang sektor na dapat sana'y pangunahing inaaruga ng ating healthcare system. Mga naglingkod at nag-ambag sa lipunan sa loob ng maraming dekada. Ngunit sa oras ng aming pangangailangan, kami pa ang madalas na napag-iiwanan ng sistemang dapat sana'y sumasalo sa amin. Ngayon po ay ilalahad ko ang ilan sa mga hinaing at karanasan ng aking mga kapwa senior citizens na patuloy naming natatanggap halos araw-araw. May mga senior citizens po na klaro ng magaling at pinayagan ng doktor na makauwi. Ngunit patuloy pa rin pinipigilang ma-discharge sa ospital dahil sa kakulangan ng pambayad. Mas masakla pa, may mga pagkakataong pati ang mga pumanaw na pasyente ay hindi agad na ilalabas ang bangkay sa parehong dahilan. Isa po rito ang reklamong natanggap ng aming opisina mula sa isang senior citizen na naging pasyente ng Sorsogon Medical Mission Group Hospital and Health Services Cooperative. Mayroon din po kami natuklasang insidente kung saan hindi umano na pagbigyan ng Philippine Heart Center ang admission as discharge ng pasyente. Kahit handa naman ang pamilya na magbigay ng collateral. Ang ganitong sitwasyon ay labag sa batas, partikular sa Republic Act Number 9439 or Anti-Hospital Detention Act na nagbabawal sa pagpigil sa pasyente na umalis sa ospital dahil lamang sa hindi nababayarang medical bills. Under the law, medically cleared patient must be allowed to leave upon providing a promissory note covering unpaid bills. Ang batas na ito ay ginawa upang hindi na madagdagan ang pasanin ng mga pasyenteng may limitadong kakayahang pinansyal, lalo na ang ating mga lolo at lola. Sa kabila nito, patuloy kaming nakakatanggap ng mga reklamo na ang senior citizens ay pinipilit manatili sa ospital. This practice is especially cruel to the elderly. Kapag ang pasyente ay isang senior citizen, ang pananatili sa ospital ay hindi lamang usapin ng gastos, kundi panganib sa kanilang kalusugan at dignidad. Ang ospital ay lugar ng paggaling, hindi dapat maging instrumento ng takot at panggigipit. Sa ganitong konteksto, mahalaga ang zero balance billing o no balance billing policy. Ngunit marami pa rin senior citizens ang hindi ito lubos na napapakinabangan. May mga ospital na hindi malinaw ang implementasyon. May biglaang singil at may mga pasyenteng napipilitang magbayad kahit saklaw sila ng benepisyo. Kapag walang gamot sa stock ng ospital, napipilitang bumili sa labas. At ang ibang high-cost procedures o specialized test ay hindi ganap na nasasaklaw ng PhilHealth. Sa ibang lalawigan, walang DOH hospital, kaya napipilitang bumiyahe o gumamit ng LGU o private hospital, kung saan hindi naman umiiral ang zero balance billing o no balance billing policy. Dagdag pa rito, inconsistent ang impormasyon sa frontline staff. May mga pasyente pa na humihingi ng unnecessary guarantee letters o political endorsement. Let me be direct. Zero balance billing or no balance billing cannot consistently protect senior citizens. The PhilHealth and the Department of Health must explain why. Ang benepisyong ipinangako sa batas ay dapat automatikong gumagana, hindi pinaglalaban na isang matanda sa gitna ng karamdaman. Isa pa po, kung mayroon tayong tinatawag na zero balance billing, dapat din nating tanungin, bakit may hinihinging down payment sa umpisa pa lamang? Kung ang isang kwalipikadong pasyente, lalo na ang isang senior citizen, ay sinasabing hindi na dapat maglabas ng bayad sa pagtatapos ng kanilang pananatili sa government hospital. Hindi ba't lohika lamang na dapat meron din tayong zero down payment policy? O hindi na rin siya dapat pinagbabayad ng paunang halaga bago pa man siya ma-admit o magamot? Mas malinaw ang kabiguan ng sistema kapag tiningnan natin ang sitwasyon sa ating mga emergency room, kung saan makikita natin ang mahabang pila, kakulangan sa hospital beds, at pagkaantala ng admission kahit sa mga nakatatandang may malubhang kondisyon. Para sa isang senior citizen, bawat oras ng paghihintay ay may kaakibat na seryosyong panganib sa buhay. Tulad na lamang sa Veterans Memorial Medical Center, kung saan ang ating mga veterano, mga Pilipinong ilang taon nagtrabaho at naglingkod ng buong dangal sa ating bayan, ay kinakailangan maghintay ng matagal para lamang ma-admit o mabigyan ng sapat na atensyong medikal. May lumapit po sa aming opisina tungkol sa isang senior citizen na halos 2 araw nang naghihintay sa bakanting kwarto sa veteran. Kailangan na sana siyang maipasok sa ICU dahil seryoso na ang kanyang kondisyon. Kung hindi pa po tayo nakiusap, hindi pa siya ma-accommodate. Ngunit kahit napagbigyan, huli na ang lahat. Dahil makalipas lamang ang ilang oras, pinawian siya ng buhay. Nang dahil hindi agad nabigyan ng kinakailangang atensyong medikal. May mga ulat din ng kakulangan sa gamot at iba pang mahalagang medical supplies na lalo pang nagpapahirap sa kanilang kalagayan. This should never be the experience of those who once stood in defense of our nation. Mr. Speaker, the elderly and others in critical condition cannot wait. Hindi nila kayang tiisin ang oras-oras na paghihintay habang lumalala ang kanilang kondisyon. Ang kakulangan sa pasalidad at koordinasyon ay direktang naglalagay sa kanila sa panganib. Mas nakakabahala pa po ang isang reklamo na natanggap ng ating opisina mula sa isang senior citizen kaugnay ng paggamit ng guarantee letter mula sa medical assistance to indigent and financially incapacitated patients o yung pong MAIP-IP program po ng DOH. Matapos umuna siyang bumili ng gamot sa pharmacy ng NKTI, may natira pang halaga sa GL. Sa halip na magamit ito para sa susunod na check-up o patuloy na gamutan ng senior citizen, ginamit umano ng pharmacy ng NKTI ang natitirang halaga para sa pagbili ng gamot na hindi kabilang sa reseta ng pasyente. Nang bumalik ang senior citizen sa ospital, halos ubos na ang natitirang halaga ng GL na nagdulot ng dagdag pasanin sa kanyang gastos na medikal. Naniniwala po kami na ito ay napatagal ng ginagawa at nangyayari hindi lamang sa NKTI. At naniniwala rin po kami na maaaring ang mga gamot na ito na itinacharge ng pharmacy sa GL ng mga pasyente ay siya rin nilang ibinebenta sa mga pasyenteng may katulad na karamdaman. Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable. Ang GL ay tulong ng gobyerno para sa isang partikular na pasyente, lalo na kung siya ay indigent at isang senior citizen. Any misuse of this assistance is a direct violation of trust and must be investigated immediately. Malamang po, ang mga isyong ito ay matagal na pong practice. Hindi lamang sa mga nabanggit na ospital, at kung sakaling hindi man ito alam ng pamunuan ng ospital, mas lalong nararapat na agad itong imbestigahan at papanagutin ang sino mang may kinalaman. Mr. Speaker, malinaw po na ang problemang ito ay nangangailangan ng agarang aksyon mula sa DOH at PhilHealth. Hindi sapat ang mga circulars at memoranda kung walang mahigpit na monitoring. Hindi sapat ang guidelines kung walang malinaw na pananagutan. Kaya nananawagan po ako sa DOH na tiyaking ang lahat ng ospital, pampubliko man o pribado, ay sumusunod sa tamang discharge protocols at hindi pinipigilan ang mga senior citizens dahil lamang sa kakulangan ng pambayad at sumusunod sa tamang gamit ng mga guarantee letter na ini-issue sa mga pasyente. Nananawagan din po ako sa PhilHealth na magsagawa ng masusing pagsusuri sa implementasyon ng zero balance billing, lalo na sa mga ospital na paulit-ulit na inirereklamo. Senior citizens should not have to beg for benefits that are already guaranteed by law. Ang aking mga kapwa, lolo at lola, ay hindi po dapat nag-aalala na kung magkasakit sa bansang ito, ay kaya bang matulungan o matugunan. Healthcare for senior citizens is not charity. It is justice. At bilang mga mambabatas, tungkulin natin, tiyakin, na ang hostisyang ito ay tunay na naipapatupad sa bawat ospital, sa bawat ward, at sa bawat pasyente. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to refer the speech of the Honorable Ordanes to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize Representative Maximo Rodriguez Jr. of Abante Mindanao Party List to avail of the privilege R.
The Honorable Maximo Rodriguez Jr. of Party List Abante Mindanao is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise today on a matter of personal and collective privilege because what I speak about today affects every Filipino who has ever lined up in a government office. People are often told, secure this certificate first, have this authenticated, get this from another office, or pay this certification fee. And when they return after spending time, money, and effort, they are told to come back again. Mr. Speaker, the painful truth is this. In many cases, the government already has the document. Yet instead of agencies speaking to each other, we make the citizen walk. Instead of offices coordinating, we make the applicant pay. Instead of systems communicating, we make people wait. Mr. Speaker, this is not efficiency. This is institutionalized inconvenience, and it is the public who pays for it. This must end. Let me say this clearly. In this digital age, there's no excuse for any government agency, national or local, not to have a functioning, updated, and accessible official website. Every agency must clearly publish its mandate and functions, the documents it issues, the complete list of requirements, the exact fees authorized by law, the processing time under the Citizens Court Charter, and the office accountable for action. When information is unclear, discretion increases. When discretion increases, abuse becomes easier. Transparency is not cosmetic. It is a safeguard against corruption. Now let us address a practice that has quietly burdened millions: certification fees, authentication fees, and release fees. If a document is already available on an official government website, if it can be verified digitally, or if it is transmitted directly from an agency to another, why are we still charging the citizen? The government created the document.
The government stores the document. The government verifies the document. Why should the citizen pay again for something the government already controls? Public service must not become an opportunity to collect redundant fees. If agencies coordinate directly, there should be no charge for interagency transmission, verification, or authentication. If the PSA, Philippine Statistics Office, has the birth certificate, for example, if a regulatory agency issued the license, if a local government holds the permit, then the requesting agency must obtain it directly. The applicant should not be the courier of government records. And when the document is transmitted through official channels, it must be considered official and authenticate. We cannot demand certified true copies from the same government that issued the original. Government must function as one institution, not as an isolated silos. And finally, you must strictly enforce what the law already provides: automatic approval. When an application is complete and an agency fails to act within the prescribed period under the ease of doing business law, it is deemed approved. That is not a suggestion, that is the law. Yet, how many times do applications simply sit on desk? How many times are citizens told to follow up indefinitely? Delay is not neutral. Delay is the denial of service. If deadlines mean nothing, then rights become hollow. Automatic approval must be respected, implemented, and enforced. Mr. Speaker, because of these systemic failures, I will be filing a bill or resolution for inquiry that will ultimately institutionalize the once-only submission principle. Number two, mandate agency-to-agency coordination for official documents that will be considered original. Number three, require all government agencies to maintain updated, transparent websites. Number four, abolish unnecessary certification and authentication fees for digitally available or interagency transmitted records. And five, reinforce strict adherence to automatic approval under existing law. We also want to indulge the Committee on Good Government, of course, to oversee under its oversight functions these laws. The Public Act 11032, Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Government Service. The Public Act 6713, Code of Conduct, Ethical Standards for Public Officers and Employees. The Public Act 11032, Frontline Services. It is not radical reform. It is common sense. It is about restoring balance between citizen and the state. The Filipino people are not asking for special treatment. They are asking for a government that works, a government that communicates internally, a government that respects deadlines, a government that does not charge them twice, a government that values their time as much as their own. We cannot preach efficiency without practicing delay. We cannot speak of reform while tolerating redundancy. If we are serious about public service, then let us fix the system starting here. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good evening.
Thank you, Honorable Rodriguez, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to refer the speech of the Honorable Maximo Rodriguez Jr. to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Dada Kiram Ismula of the Akbayan Party List to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Dada Kiram Ismula of the Party List Akbayan is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Isang mapayapang araw at Ramadan Mubarak sa ating lahat. Sa lahat ng mga kapatid nating Muslim, naway ito'y maging panahon ng ating saum o fasting ay magpapatibay ng ating kalooban at pananampalataya. Ang ating sadaka ay magpapalakas ng ating pakikipagkapwa at ang ating tarawi ay maging oras ng pagninilay sa ating pagkatao. Noong Pebrero 19 ay nagsimula na ang Ramadan, isang banal na buwan ng pagdarasal, pag-aayuno at pagbibigayan para sa mga kapatid nating Muslim. Hayaan ninyong magsimula ako sa isang kwento na hindi man madalas naririnig sa balita, ngunit araw-araw na nararanasan ng milyong-milyong Pilipino. May isang babaeng nagngangalang Aisha. Si Aisha ay isang dedicated na employee sa isang kumpanya rito sa Maynila. Alas 3 pa lang ng madaling araw ay gising na siya para magluto ng pangsahur niya at ng kanyang pamilya bago ang kanyang pagdadasal. Mula sa pagsikat ng araw hanggang sa paglubog nito, si Aisha ay hindi kakain o iinom ng tubig, magdadasal, magbabasa ng Quran at dadamihan ang kabutihang asal bilang parte ng kanyang pag-aayuno. Papasok si Aisha sa trabaho, susuong sa traffic sa EDSA at haharap sa tambak na papeles nang walang laman ang tiyan. Pagdating ng tanghali, si Aisha ay magdadasal na naghahanap ng bakanteng fire exit o tagong sulok sa ilalim ng kanyang desk. Doon siya naglalatag ng kanyang sajada o prayer mat para magdasal dahil wala siyang disenteng espasyo para sa kanyang pananampalataya habang nagtatrabaho para sa bayan. Mr. Speaker, ang kwento ni Aisha ay kwento naming mahigit 7 milyong Pilipinong Muslim. Ang mga Muslim sa Pilipinas ay mga guro, doktor, sundalo at mga manggagawang nagpapatakbo ng ating ekonomiya. Ang mga Muslim sa Pilipinas ay mga produktibong miyembro ng lipunan na nagbabayad ng buwis. Ang mga Muslim sa Pilipinas ay mga mamamayan ng ating bansa na may karapatan sa mga polisiya at serbisyo ng ating gobyerno. Sa panahon ng Ramadan, malaki ang maitutulong ng ating mga polisiya para manatiling aktibo, produktibo, at protektado ang ating mga kababayang Muslim. Ang panawagan natin ay simple lang, inklusibong workplaces. Ano po ba ang ibig sabihin nito? Ang mga espasyo ng panggawa, ito man ay government offices o private companies, ay espasyo din na dapat ng pagkilala sa kultura ng mga manggagawa. Hindi special treatment ang hanap ng mga kapatid nating Muslim. After all, isang buwan lang ang Ramadan. For all the contributions that Filipino workers provide to our society, inclusive workplace policies will make a lot of difference to their lives. Ang pagkakaroon ng flexible working hours ay pagsiguro na hindi mamarkahang late ang ating mga Muslim employees na kailangang magsahur at magdasal sa madaling araw. Ang flexible working hours ay malaking ginhawa para makauwi ng maaga ang mga nanay at tatay mula sa trabaho at makapagluto pa para sa buka o iftar ng pamilya o ang hapunan na pagkatapos ng fasting. Ang dedicated prayer room o kahit space ay malaking tulong para payapa at pribadong pagdadasal ang ating mga kapatid. Posibleng-posible ito. In fact, para sa ating mga kawani ng gobyerno, mayroon na tayong CSC resolution na pinapayagan ang flexible hours tuwing Ramadan. Ang tanong na nga lang, compliant ba ang lahat ng mga government agencies natin dito? Habang kinikilala ko na mahalagang step itong resolution ng CSC, ayon sa ilan sa mga Muslim nating kawani ng gobyerno, mahihirapan pa rin sila pagkatapos ng trabaho, gawa ng rush hour traffic at tambak na workload. Ang isang tanong, paano na lang ang mga employees ng pribadong kumpanya? Kailan pa bang isa-isang makipag-negotiate ang isang Muslim sa kanilang supervisor para lang makuha ang karapatang ito? Ang pagbibigay ng flexible hours at prayer spaces ay prinsipyo ng humane conditions of work na bahagi ng karapatang kinikilala ng ating saligang batas. Sa parehong rason na kinikilala natin ang karapatan ng isang ina para sa maternity leave, sa rason na mayroon tayong konsepto ng reasonable accommodation sa mga kapatid nating may kapansanan, kayang-kaya natin maibigay ang parehong respeto sa pagkatao ng ating mga kapatid. Ang isang manggagawang nirerespeto ang pagkatao at pananampalataya ay isang manggagawang mas produktibo, mas tapat at mas masaya. Kaya naman nananawagan ako sa Department of Labor and Employment, sa Civil Service Commission at maging ang Commission on Higher Education, it's time we see, recognize, and honor the culture of our Filipino Muslim workers. Panahon na para maglabas ng isang komprehensibong guidelines na hindi lamang recommending, kundi mandating flexible work conditions para sa lahat ng manggagawang Pilipino, anuman ang kanilang relihiyon. Gawin nating batas ang pagmamalasakit, gawin nating polisiya ang pagkakapantay-pantay. Maraming salamat po. Syukran, daghang salamat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu.
Thank you, Honorable Ismula. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to refer the speech of the Honorable Ismula to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended. Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize the Honorable Terry Redon from the Bicol Saro party list to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Terry Redon from Bicol Saro is recognized. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I rise today on a matter of urgent public importance, one that concerns public safety, public funds, and the trust of our people in government. In recent weeks, the national government itself was compelled to bring high-level attention to Bicol after severe flooding once again submerged communities and exposed recurring weaknesses in flood mitigation and infrastructure delivery. In Albay, DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon personally inspected major infrastructure projects and publicly expressed alarm over delays and non-performance. Most notably, the long-stalled Malabog flyover in Daraga, which he cited as only about 12 to 13% complete despite years of implementation. He ordered the termination of contracts and pushed for immediate rebidding to finish the project and end the cycle of stalled public works. In Camarines Sur, Secretary Dizon inspection produced an equally troubling picture. During a site visit in an area, he experienced a bridge shaking and jolting as a truck had passed, prompting an order for immediate inspection and repair due to the danger it posed to motorists and residents. And in Naga City, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., joined by Secretary Dizon and Mayor Lenny Robredo, personally inspected flood mitigation operations under Oplan Contra Baha, including dredging and waste clearing activities at Sagop Creek, an explicit acknowledgement that drainage capacity and water flow have become matters requiring urgent intervention, not routine maintenance. Mr. Speaker, these are not isolated events. They show a pattern: projects funded, projects announced, projects certified, yet projects left unfinished, defective, or incapable of protecting the public. It is in this context that I now present documented filings by the province of Camarines Sur, provincial government of Camarines Sur, on several flood control projects based on field inspection and validation by the Provincial Project Monitoring Team, or the PPMT. These findings point to structural failures, deviations from approved plans, substandard materials, scope discrepancies, and questionable accomplishment reporting. Mr. Speaker, this is not merely a local concern. The pattern is systemic and it demands systemic reform. And therefore, there is a need for a region-wide, time-bound audit of flood control and critical infrastructure projects across Bicol region and the institutionalization of reform, consistent with DPWH stated direction that future flood control projects must be done according to plan and closely monitored. The audit should include, number one, document to ground validation, approved program of works versus actual built outputs. Number two, independent technical testing, concrete thickness, reinforcement, boulder sizing, toe protection, slope stability. Number three, strict warranty enforcement for projects still under warranty. Number four, automatic referral to the Ombudsman or the Department of Justice where evidence shows falsified accomplishment, irregular billings, or payments for non-conforming work. With that context, Mr. Speaker, allow me to present the project's findings. In the municipality of Garchitorena, Camarines Sur, there is a seawall that has been subjected to total structural disintegration. It has a project cost of 49 million and it was reported completed June 2023. The construction of a flood mitigation structure seawall in Garchitorena, Camarines Sur, allegedly completed in June 2023, has completely disintegrated. The PPMT conducted an on-site inspection. Their findings were alarming. The entire structure collapsed and was reduced to debris. Large concrete sections were fractured and displaced. Reinforcements were exposed. The structure has completely lost its flood protection function. Mr. Speaker, the project is barely 2 years old. What is even more alarming is this: the adjacent older seawall built prior to this project remains standing and relatively intact. This proves that the failure cannot be blamed solely on weather conditions. Further inspection revealed the required 300 millimeter to 600 millimeter hand-laid embankment boulders were not properly installed. Majority of rocks used did not meet site size specifications. Fill materials were substituted. Aggregates appeared to be sea pebbles instead of proper gravel. These deviations directly violate approved project specifications. The 49 million seawall did not merely crack, it disintegrated. The second project, Mr. Speaker, is the Sagpon River Flood Control, Sections 1 and 2 in Tigaon, Camarines Sur. It has been subject to collapse, cracking, and thin concrete. It has a project cost of 86,504,494 pesos and 66 centavos. The PPMT inspection revealed collapsed portions of structure, cracks from top to bottom, inadequate concrete thickness, 100 to 120 millimeters instead of the required 150 millimeters, exposed reinforcement steel bars, improper placement of railings, scouring, and foundation damage. Mr. Speaker, this project is still within its warranty period, yet large portions have already collapsed. The inspection also noted that instead of the required 300 to 600 millimeter hand-laid boulders, soil, fine sand, and the fine aggregates were used as fill materials, a substitution that severely compromises structural stability. This is not a minor deviation, Mr. Speaker. This is a structural compromise. Third project is Sagpon River Flood Control, multiple sections in Tigaon, Camarines Sur, scouring, improvised repairs, vulnerability. Project cost is 82,025,000. Again, serious deficiencies were found. Scouring at the foundation areas with vegetation growth, indicating poor maintenance, improvised repairs using sacks placed between foundation and wall, vulnerability where floodwaters exceeded berm height. While partially functional, the structure shows signs of long-term failure if left uncorrected. This project too is within warranty, and we expect the DPWH in the region to respond to these warranty claims in the soonest possible time. And the last of the projects, which is a partial report, Mr. Speaker, is the Sagnay River Flood Mitigation in Sagnay, Turagi section, Camarines Sur. There is a questionable accomplishment reporting. The project cost is 71,213,961 pesos and 50 centavos. The reported accomplishment was 21.7%, but field inspection shows only intermittent steep shield piles had been installed with no continuous flood control structure visible. The reported physical accomplishment appears highly questionable. Mr. Speaker, the findings indicate possible patterns of material substitution and non-compliance with specifications, deviation from approved lawful requirements and authority, certification and payment for works not done or not done as specified, and potential violations of anti-graft procurement and penal laws. Given the national context where even top-level inspection in Camarines Sur and other provinces within the region had been undertaken, we have to be able to act decisively. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I respectfully call for number one, a regional-wide audit of flood control and critical infrastructure projects across Bicol. Number two, immediate technical assessment and corrective works with strict warranty enforcement with directive for the DPWH to publish document-to-ground reconciliation for priority flood control projects. Number three, the referral of evidence to the Ombudsman or the DOJ for finding support fraud, falsification, or unlawful disbursement, and in the context of national reforms, third-party monitoring of major flood control projects, real-time transparency dashboards, and stronger contractor accountability and blacklisting mechanisms aligned with DPWH's public commitment to implement projects strictly according to plan and under close supervision. Mr. Speaker, flood control projects are not ornamental structures. They are life-saving infrastructure. When they fail, homes are lost, livelihoods are destroyed, and lives are endangered. The Filipino people deserve flood control that works and governance that enforces accountability. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker. Magandang hapon.
Thank you, Honorable Ridon. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to refer the speech of the Honorable Ridon to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize the Honorable Eli San Fernando from the Kamanggagawa Party List to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Elijah San Fernando of Party List Kamanggagawa is recognized. Please proceed.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Speaker, at sa ating mga kasama. Mr. Speaker, mga kasama, at sa lahat ng mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino na nanonood at nakikinig, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Public office is a public trust. Malinaw na nakasaad ito sa ating saligang batas. As duly elected representatives of the people, we are to accomplish our constitutional mandate, to make laws that effectively respond to the needs of our people and fulfill their aspirations for a just and humane society. Tayo po ay nahalal para mag-review at gumawa ng mga batas na magpapagaan sa buhay ng mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino. Unfortunately, it seems that the integrity of this august chamber, in accordance with this mandate, is in great peril. Although it was reported in the recently published Ulat ng Bayan survey of Pulse Asia that the House's trust rating has increased by 6 percentage points and that the distrust rating fell by 9, a staggering 41% of respondents are still undecided whether to trust or to distrust the House of Representatives. Ang ibig sabihin po nito, Mr. Speaker, mas nananaig ang pagdududa at pag-aalangan ng ating mga kababayan sa institusyong ito. Kahit masakit, kailangan nating tanggapin ang katotohanan ito. At bahagi ng pagtanggap ay ang pagtatanong at pag-uusisa sa mga dahilan kung bakit maraming Pilipino ang nawawalan ng tiwala sa ating bahay. Ano ba ang mga daing ng ating mga pinaglilingkuran? Ano ba ang pang-araw-araw nilang pasanin? Ano ba ang mga kailangan ng isang simpleng pamilya para mapanatag sa maghapon? According to recent surveys, high cost of living and meager pay remain to be among the top concerns of everyday Filipinos. Pulse Asia's survey reported that more than half of the respondents consider inflation as the country's most urgent problem. Meanwhile, WR Numero reported that Filipinos think that the government's #1 priority should be to increase the wages of workers. Kung susumahin at mas padadaliin po nating intindihin, ang sinasabi po sa atin ng mga Pilipino, ang kailangan namin, pababain ang presyo ng mga bilhin at serbisyo at itaas ang sahod ng mga manggagawa. My dear colleagues, sa gitna po ng ingay, ng gulo, ng pagkakahati-hati, the good news is may magagawa po tayo dito sa House of Representatives. With the powers vested in us by the Constitution, we are incredibly privileged to have the ability to pass laws and reforms that can be of significant help to our fellow Filipinos. May kakayahan po tayong pagaanin ang mga mabibigat na problemang bit-bit ng ating mga kababayan. At tiyak po ako na kaya nating gawin yan kung tayo ay makikinig at tunay na uunawa sa kanilang kalagayan. Kaya mapapaisip po talaga tayo sa dinami-rami ng mga batas na ating ipinapasa at sa ingay na ating nililikha. Bakit nananatiling mas marami ang nagdududa sa ating kapulungan? How do we regain the trust of the people? On this note, Kamanggagawa Party List would like to highlight in this speech a very pertinent issue, one that has in fact been pertinent for the past couple of decades, but has seemingly fallen on deaf ears time and again. The Labor Code of the Philippines broadly defines the word wage as the remuneration or earnings for work done or to be done or for services rendered or to be rendered. Sa madaling salita, ang sahod po ay ang katumbas o kapalit na halaga mula sa lakas, oras at pagod na ginugugol ng mga manggagawa sa isang trabaho. Mula po sa definition na ito, ay mas madali nating maiintindihan na kapag ang manggagawa ay nagtrabaho ng 8 oras at nakagawa ng partikular na bilang ng mga produkto o serbisyo, dapat siya ay sumahod ng halaga na katumbas o katimbang ng 8 oras na trabaho at ng kanyang produkto o serbisyong nagawa. Sa kasamaang palad, Mr. Speaker, hindi ganyan ang nararanasan ng mga manggagawa sa ating bansa. 2.5 decades of data from the Philippine Statistics Authority illustrate this. Mula 2001 hanggang 2024, lumaguho ang ating real gross domestic product mula 7.2 trillion pesos hanggang 22.2 trillion pesos. If we look at this from the perspective of the workers, labor productivity measured as GDP per worker grew from 246,915 pesos to 455,396 pesos during the same period. Ibig sabihin po nito, Mr. Speaker, ang halaga ng produkto o serbisyo na nagagawa mismo ng mga manggagawa ay halos dumoble sa parehas na panahon. Samantala, kung titignan naman ho natin ang halaga ng sahod, makikita natin ang mean basic pay ng mga manggagawa ay lumago lamang mula 419 pesos hanggang 488 pesos. 68.88 pesos lang po ang itinaas ng sahod ng mga manggagawa mula 2001 hanggang 2024. Kaya pag sinabi po natin, barat ang sahod ng mga manggagawa, barat ho talaga. Dahil ang national average minimum wage ay mula 341 pesos hanggang 354 pesos lamang. Sa katunayan po, kung ating i-compute mula nang naisabatas ang RA 6727 o Wage Rationalization Act of 1989, from July 1989 to December 2025, nabawasan pa ang sahod ng mga manggagawa ng 94 pesos. Hindi na nga po tumataas ang sahod ng mga manggagawa, hindi naman bumababa ang presyo ng mga bilihin. Simple lang po ang kahulugan ng mga datos na ito, Mr. Speaker. Tumataas ang kita ng ating ekonomiya. Lumalago at lumalawak ang mga negosyo. Dumarami ang produkto at serbisyong nagagawa ng mga manggagawa. Pero ang sahod ng mga manggagawa ay nananatiling kulelat at hindi makasabay sa paglagong laging ipinagmamalaki ng gobyerno. The growth of our economy is built on the backs of labor. Walang kahit anong pwedeng pakinabangan o pagkakitaan kung hindi dahil sa lakas at pawis ng mga manggagawang lumilikha mismo ng yaman ng ating ekonomiya. With this in mind, how should we, as representatives of the people, alleviate the plight of everyday working class and ordinary Filipinos? And now that Congress is set to address another impeachment complaint, the Filipino people have a sobering reminder to every honorable member of its august body. Hindi away politika ang solusyon sa hirap na dinaranas ng ating mga kababayan. Let us be clear that our solidarity with the calls for accountability and good governance remains steadfast. However, in the face of partisan politicking, our commitment to meaningful reforms stands more unwavering. Gusto po natin ng pananagutan. We seek an end to corruption, from the top all the way to the bottom. For as we have witnessed these past few months, lubhang nakamamatay po ang korupsyon. The hundreds upon hundreds of lives lost as a result of this billion-peso worth substandard flood control projects, in addition to the loss of property of thousands of families and individuals, make it no wonder why there has been a historic outburst of anger from the people. Ang mga nasaksihan nating malawakang kilos protesta ay patunay lamang na galit na ang ating mga kababayan. Habang pinagpupugayan po natin ang mga pagkilos na ito, we must keep in mind that not everyone has the capacity to participate in these kinds of movements. Ang isang manggagawa na kailangang punan ang mga gastusin sa bahay, gaya ng pambayad ng tubig, kuryente, renta, pagkain at pampaaral sa kanyang mga anak, ay hindi po afford na umabsent at mawala ng kikitain sa isang buong araw para lang magprotesta. Ang isang ina ay hindi naman po pwedeng basta na lang umalis sa bahay at iwanan ang pangangalaga sa kanyang mga anak kapalit ng pangangalsada para labanan ng korupsyon. Maraming mga Pilipino ang tahimik lang na nagtatrabaho sa pagawaan, sa mga kumpanya o sa tahanan. Mga Pilipinong nagngangalit din sa galit dahil sa malawakang korupsyong kanilang nasasaksihan at pinagdudusahan. Ngunit, hindi magawang makalaban ni makiimik dahil sa banta ng gutom, nahatid na rin naman ng hindi makatarungang pasahod at presyo ng mga bilihin. If we are genuine about truly purging corruption and demanding accountability from our broken system, we must equally be as serious with reforms that empower workers and ordinary Filipinos to enable them to take up the fight themselves. Magiging walang saysay po ang impeachment kung ang pinakadehadong sektor sa ating lipunan, ang mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino, ay hindi binibigyan ng kapasidad na lumaban para sa kanilang sariling kapakanan at karapatan. Without the support of the widest and broadest segments of our society, these cases quickly devolve into mere political squabbles between dynastic elites. The fight for accountability goes beyond impeachment. Ang tunay na laban po para sa hustisya ay hindi lamang naikakahon sa impeachment. Rather, true justice is also justice for wages, justice for the price of basic goods and services. Sa madaling salita, hustisya para sa maalwang pamumuhay na kahit tagal-tagal nang inaasam ng ating mga kababayan. Let us go back to our roots. Let us open our eyes, ears, and hearts to the cries and pleas of the people. Labis po ang paghihirap ng ating mga kababayan. Hirap na dulot ng napakababang sweldo at napakataas na presyo ng mga bilihin. Bakit hindi ang mga pangunahing problema ng mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino ang bigyan din natin ng agarang pansin? Who are we to speak of accountability and justice when we cannot even give our workers a wage that justifiably reflects their immense contribution to our economy and society? Dagdag sahod, dagdag benepisyo, at pagpapababa ng presyo ang kailangan ng mga manggagawa at ordinaryong Pilipino. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, the message is clear. The Filipino people are hesitant to put their trust back in this House simply because they are disillusioned. Disillusioned ng ating mga manggagawa sa bulok na sistemang mayroon tayo. Isang bulok na sistema kung saan sa kabila ng nakakalulang paglago ng ekonomiya ay hindi man lamang magawang maibalik ang nararapat para sa mga manggagawa. Isang bulok na sistema na sa halip na magpagaan sa pasanin ng mga kababayan natin ay pinipiling unahin ang mga walang kapararakang batuhan ng putik. Isang bulok na sistema na sa kasamaang palad ay patuloy nating niyayakap at kinakalinga. Every single day that we choose to stall the passage of meaningful reforms, we are deliberately choosing to say to our people, hindi kayo mahalaga. Ang tiwala ng publiko ay hindi ibinibigay, kundi pinagtatrabahuhan. Mr. Speaker, mga kasama, let us work diligently to win back the hearts of the Filipino people. Maraming salamat po at magandang hapon sa ating lahat, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable San Fernando. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to refer the speech of the Honorable San Fernando to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, before we proceed, may we recognize the guests of the Honorable San Fernando. They are the following: Professor Rene Tadle, Jesus Obien, Joselito Sancha, Arnulfo Arnold Pardo, Attorney Alan Montaño, Gives Tyrone Miguel H. Garcia, Ricky J. Valencia, Antonio B. Vallejo, Paulo P. Guerrero, Maria Luisa R. Aquilera, Ana Marie S. Fabregas, Maria Corazon de Gala, Charity P. Flores, Arlene Makatigay, Jonalyn P. Tolentino, Ricardo Santos, Jocelyn Pimienta, And from the United Private Hospitals Union of the Philippines, we have Donel Ciazon, Ronald Richie Ignacio. And from the United Youth for Peace and Development, we have Nasser Manalasal, Sina Lambay, Nasruddin Abdullah Mabandes, and then we also have Remchi Rodolfo, Remj J. Balba, Jeannie A. Villanueva, Ezequiel Jonathan V. Angeles, Job Valenzuela, Ricardo O. Dilao, Aguedo II D. Tugano, Normita Barrios Espino, Sunny Montila, Amorti Borcelis, Marilu Kayanan, Catherine C. Ogena, Emelita A. Tan, Mr. Speaker.
To the distinguished guests of the Honorable Elijah San Fernando of Party List Kamanggagawa, welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to recognize the Honorable Sara Elago from the Gabriela Women's Party List to avail of the privilege hour.
The Honorable Sara Ilago is recognized. Please proceed.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Speaker, mga kapwa mambabatas, sa ating mga bisita sa plenaryo at sa lahat ng nakikinig sa atin ngayon online. Magandang hapon sa lahat. Nasa 4 na dekada, 40 taon na ang nakalipas mula noong February 22 hanggang February 25, 1986 nang maganap ang makasaysayang EDSA People Power Revolution. Milyong-milyong mga Pilipino, kabilang ang mga taong simbahan, mga manggagawa, estudyante, magsasaka at nagmula sa iba't ibang mga sektor, ang buong tatag at tapang na tumindig at kumilos sa kahabaan ng Epifanio de los Santos Avenue o EDSA at sa iba't ibang panig ng bansa upang ipaglaban ang demokrasya at kalayaan. Ang EDSA People Power Revolution ay nagpapakita ng kahalagahan ng sama-samang pagkilos ng sambayanang Pilipino sa pagbawi ng kanilang mga karapatan, pagkilala sa mga biktima ng martial law atrocities, at hindi pagkalimot sa mga martir at lahat ng nagsakripisyo upang mapatalsik ang isang diktadurya. Ito ang patunay na ang kapangyarihan ay laging nasa kamay ng nagkakaisang sambayanan. At ngayon, sa pagdiriwang natin ng ika-40 anibersaryo ng People Power Revolution, hindi nalalayo ang kalagayan noon sa kalagayan ng ating bansa ngayon. 4 na dekada matapos ang EDSA People Power, nananatiling lugmok sa kahirapan ang mga magsasakang walang sariling lupa, mga manggagawang humihingi at matagal nang lumalaban para sa nakabubuhay na sahod. Ang mga ordinaryong mamamayan na umaalma na sa nagtataasang presyo ng bilihin, gayon din ang patong-patong na buwis, tulad ng value-added tax na ipinapataw sa taong bayan. 4 na dekada ang nakalipas, ngunit nananatiling bat-bat ng korupsyon ang ating bayan, ninanakaw ang buwis na mula sa dugo at pawis ng ordinaryong mga manggagawa, mga Pilipino. Mula sa bilyong-bilyong ninanakaw noon hanggang sa kasalukuyang matinding problema pa rin sa korupsyon na bilyon-bilyon ring ninanakaw sa ilalim ng administrasyong ito. Kaya naman bukas, February 25, magmamarcha ang sambayanang Pilipino muli sa EDSA dahil sawang-sawa na ang taong bayan sa pagnanakaw sa kaban ng bayan. Magmamarcha tayo upang ipaglaban ang ating mga karapatan, upang ipanawagan na baguhin ang bulok at korap na sistema. Hindi dapat limitahan ang espasyo upang tumindig, mag-organisa, magkaroon ng mapayapang protesta at tumindig ang ating mga kababayan para sa kalayaan ng mamamayang Pilipino at ang kanilang karapatan na magpahayag. Kaya nga naman, ang hamon sa 40th anniversary ng EDSA People Power ay hindi ang simpleng paggunita, hindi lang simpleng pag-alala. Ang hamon ay ang pagpapatuloy ng pagtindig at paglaban sa korap na sistema. Naging inspirasyon natin at itinuturo sa atin ng EDSA People Power na ang tunay na kapangyarihan ay nasa kamay ng taong bayan. Ang tunay na people power ay ang sama-samang pagkilos at pagkakaisa ng mamamayan at pagpapatuloy ng laban hanggat hindi pa natin nakakamit ang tunay na demokrasya at katarungan. Huwag nating hayaang mabaon sa limot ang sakripisyo ng mga nauna sa atin para sa ating mga demokratikong karapatan na natatamasa ngayon. Kaya ang laban ng EDSA, People Power, ay laban natin hanggang ngayon. Kaya naman sa darating na February 25, ang panawagan ng kababaihan, panagutin ang lahat ng korap at bawiin ang mga ninakaw na kaban ng bayan. Patuloy tayong tumindig para sa pantay na karapatang pantao at para sa tunay na kalayaan at demokrasya. Mabuhay ang sama-samang kumikilos at tumitindig para sa tunay na demokrasya sa ating bansa. Ipakita natin ang ating people power laban sa korupsyon. People power laban sa paglabag sa karapatang pantao. Maraming salamat at muli, mabuhay ang lahat ng kikilos bukas upang gunitain ang EDSA People Power.
Thank you, Honorable Ilago. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Elago to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session until tomorrow, February... sorry. Mr. Speaker, I withdraw that motion. Mr. Speaker, I move that we close the privilege hour, the period of privilege.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Privilege hour is now closed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we suspend session until tomorrow, February 25, 3 p.m.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. Motion is approved. The session is suspended until tomorrow, February 25 at 3 p.m.